Alright, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be Hairy Muppet and we are going to be casting the fourth and of course final quarter-final of the DreamHack Open Summer 2013 tournament, and it seems like my music has started working again. I'm not sure why it was not working for the past few games, but I believe it was broken or just not working or something like that. But anyway, we are going to keep on going on. And we are going to be checking out these couple of games. Excuse me a sec, I keep forgetting which bloody clan is from which company. From which country, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so down the bottom right side of the map, we do have our red Protoss player, StarDust. He is a South Korean player, and he is playing for the My Insanity clan, which is actually from Switzerland. So it's a Switzerland-based clan, so that is pretty damn awesome. And up he's facing his opponent in this quarterfinal is going to be Hyun from the Quantic Gaming clan. Now Hyun is another South Korean player, and Quantic Gaming is a US based clan. So yes, another couple of South Korean players going against each other, doing some awesome stuff. We've seen so many awesome South Korean players in this tournament, and now we are seeing two more. So yeah, we're pretty much guaranteed to have almost a full lineup in the semi-finals of South Korean players, but the exception, of course, is the third quarter-final when we saw Sjow, S-J-O-W, S-Jow. I'm still not really sure how to say his name, but he is a Swedish player, and he got through to the semi-finals, and he is going to be facing the winner of this matchup. So it's either going to be Hyun or it's going to be StarDust. Now we have seen Hyun quite a few times before. I've cast two Go for SC2 tournaments so far, and he has been in the grand finals for both of those games, and he has done extremely well in both of them. So definitely Hyun, very, very strong Zerg player. I believe he likes to go for the late game Ultra as well. It's been a very, very favourite tactic of his. StarDust, we haven't seen before, at least I haven't cast any games of him before, but he is going to be the first Protoss player in this in these quarterfinals. So far it's just been ZVTs all over the place, so it's nice to have a bit of a change of pace. And yeah, this probe going to come in, he's going to see this hatchery go down, but he tried to stop it, I think, but he didn't go as far as actually building a pylon to try and stop it. So he's obviously saving his minerals up. He's going to be getting, this is, I'm assuming this is going to be a cannon down here, so he's going for a Forge Fast Expand, straight into a gateway over there. So this is going to be pretty solid as far as Lings are concerned. Lings will try to run in here, but they won't do a very good job. This cannon is just going to get denied of this Overlord. You see he moves a little bit away and it's just out of range of the cannon. But of course a Stalker coming down the ramp, hitting this Overlord, the Overlord's going to automatically run the other way and then he will die. So that is not going to be good. But so far it's just probes, and unfortunately for our Protoss player, probes cannot hit air. So there we go, we're going to keep going on. And what do we have happening so far? Not a lot. It's pretty much standard play. We've got the spawning pool coming down, we've got a couple of queens coming down from both players. Well, from this player anyway. I don't believe the Protoss player can build queens, but they're both getting a ton of workers up. Yeah, the Protoss player's got his expansion up now, so he's going to be building a ton of workers out of it. And he's actually beating the Zerg by a little bit, but now that the Zerg has two queens up, he's just about to get the second queen, then yeah, we should see his worker count start to explode very, very soon. He's already back in the lead, and we can certainly expect that to just bump out quite a bit. Here we go, the first link coming in here is going to be able to take out this probe. Maybe the probe just may run straight back in. I think this must have been a scouting probe of some sort. My computer is getting laggy. I think I'm copying a really big file across, and it's probably slowing down things quite a bit. I am just going to cancel that because I don't really need that copied across straight away, and we'll see if that helps a little bit. Not really too much going on my computer though, so hopefully that is the thing that was causing it to be slow. But what do we got going on? We've got Overlords left, right and centre. We do have Warp Gate tech and #1 weapons already coming out for the Protoss player, so that's going to be pretty sweet. The Zerg player has not yet started on his upgrades, but that's the advantage of the Forge Fast Expand, is that you've already got a Forge and you can start going upgrades very, very soon. But he does have Link Speed on the way, So yeah, we may be seeing some Ling offensive, some Banelings, that sort of stuff. He's got one Zealot out here, just watching the watchtower, so if he sends in all these Lings, he's probably going to take it out. And it looks like that may very well be what he's going to do. But the Zealot, he sees him coming, he's going to get out of the way. The Lings, they pick up the watchtower, they see the Zealot, and they are going to go in and try and kill them. But yeah, I'm not sure if their vision is actually... oh, what am I saying? He's got the watchtower. He had this watchtower anyway, so of course he could see the entire path that Zealot has taken. Tries to keep himself alive by putting his back against the wall, but does not work that well. Third expansion coming down around the 6.5 minute mark. So I would say it's a tiny bit early, but not really. And 6.5 minutes is fine, as long as you're fairly certain that you're not going to get attacked. I mean, some players do it a little bit later, like the 7-minute mark or something like that, and they get a bit more defense. But we can see he's been going absolutely nuts on the workers. He's moving a lot over here, and so he'll move a ton over as soon as this third base actually pops up. But if we have a look in terms of the building, we've got a Twilight Council coming down, so that could be opening up a number of options. Could be DTs, could be High Templar, it could just be for Zealot Speed or Stalker Legs or one of those things. But he is getting a lot of gateways, so we are going to see some an army starting to come out soon, fairly soon. He hasn't got much of an army now, but we can expect that to get jumped up quite fast. And here we go, getting an observer out from the Robo Bay. I do not believe we have a Robo Support Bay yet, but if that starts to come out, then we can expect to see some Colossus sometime soon. But maybe he'll just be building Immortals. Immortals are fairly good early game against the Zerg, because a lot of Zerg players love to go for Roaches. And here we go, there is the Roach Warren down there. So an Immortal or two from the Protoss player would just be so awesome, it's not even funny. But we don't think we actually have any Roaches out on the field yet, just a stupidly large amount of workers. So our Zerg player really getting a very, very large amount of workers, really going out there and doing some good economy. Protoss just starting to get his third base up, so we start to catch up with the workers. The Zerg's not going to go much higher than 70, maybe go up to 80, but I wouldn't expect him to go any higher than 80 because that's just completely retarded. You don't leave yourself enough unit supply left over to actually build an army. These guys going in, but they've got a nice little bit of defense there. The Lings are just going to go down in their hundreds trying to get through there. They've got a nice bit of defense here. And he got a sentry for force field, so this one they're going to be chased off as well. But he does know that the third base is coming down, so it might be possible that he's going to build a crap load of roaches to go in there and hit that. He hasn't actually built a single roach yet, I do not believe. No roaches. 75 drones though, so he's definitely on top of the worker count, and he's already getting a fourth base. So the Zerg very, very aggressive in terms of his expansions. The Protoss player is quite aggressive as well, getting a third base out before the 10-minute mark. It's kind of required. I don't know. I'm going to say since Heart of the Swarm came out, everybody's been expanding a lot earlier, a lot faster. So yeah, I mean, if you're one of the Protoss players that expands around the, you get your third base around the 15-minute mark and your second base around the 7-8 minute mark, then you are going to be way behind playing up against these players because they just expand like there's no tomorrow. But he is getting a whole bunch of workers out now, so he's probably going to end up around the 70 mark and it'll be fine. But the upgrades, man, he's got level 2 weapons already. The Zerg players starting to get level 1 weapons for his ranged, and because he's definitely going out for Hydra tech. Now, he's obviously got the roaches, the Roach Warren, to build out a ton of roaches if he needs them, but right now he's just going for Ling Hydra. And Ling Hydra is not... It's not a bad choice, because the bonus of having Ling Hydra is that they're both light units, so going up against Stalkers, they do very well. Zealots, they do fairly well. The Hydras just shred the Zealots apart like there's no business. Yeah, so they do very well against a large amount of different Protoss strategies. However, once the Protoss starts to get out Colossus, this Ling Hydra pretty much falls apart. But I have seen a game before where he was going Ling Hydra Corruptor. That's right, Ling Hydra Corruptor, and it was doing very, very well against a Protoss player. So we may be seeing that again. very large amount of forces in here. He's got his Zealots in a bit of a bad position. He gets some nice force fields, but these Hydras have such a nice range. He's going to have to back up the Zealots, but he needs to move them forward again to start taking out the units. So he's got all the Lings that are out in the front, and he's managed to take out all the units in the front, getting the Hydras behind those force fields. Great job. He needs to put some more force fields down. There we go. He cuts out a few of them, but most of them out in the front, and some reinforcements coming down on this pylon. Doing a really, really great job. He does not have Zealot Legs though, and he's just realizing now that Zealot Legs would have made all the difference in that battle. He won it, but he could have won it a hell of a lot easier if he had legs. And now he's going to go move in, and the Zerg is going to be in a lot of trouble. But we've got 15 Roaches coming up. Roach is really just going to absolutely destroy these Zealot numbers. He does have the Hydras, but the force fields keeping him away, doing very, very nice, and the Zealots getting in great positions to wipe out these forces. The Immortals not really doing too much, but they're still providing a fairly solid backbone for this army. But of course the Sentries are just the awesome, awesome players that everybody knows they are. They're putting down force fields, and so far we've seen some fantastic force field work. And Protoss player takes down this base. I think he actually took down a fair amount of drones as well, down to 63, so he's even up the drone count. He's taken this base out. And yeah, this was a great equalizer from the Protoss player. He's starting to get his forces whittled down now, but he's got some reinforcing stalkers though. So great work by him, keeping the reinforcements up. He's going to take out the Roach ones. That's going to be some nice tech structures, and it's going to be very, very helpful considering now how many Roaches he's getting in to just get in there and just fortify his army. Because yeah, Roaches are so cheap and they do so much. They do much more than Lings. They Hydra's probably a little bit better, but Hydra's cost twice as much gas. So yeah, if you're starting to struggle with the resources, then yeah. But look at this, he's sending a bunch of Lings over there. He's going to get these guys contained. Meanwhile, the rest of the army is going to take over this base. Excellent, excellent job here by the Protoss player, and you can almost assume that these force fields are going to stay down 100%. He manages to get some Roaches off to attack these guys, but there's like 10 sentries out there. And if the Protoss manages to move over here and take this base down while keeping these guys contained, oh man, that is going to be so awesome. One Roach manages to squeeze past the force fields, but the rest of them are still trapped like fish in a barrel. And the Zealots have legs now, so they are going to run out there like there's no tomorrow, doing an absolutely fantastic job. And the Protoss has all the advantages here, and this one force field is just completely screwing the Zerg player over. He cannot build the forces he needs. He's lost 2 hatcheries there. He's got a decent army here, but yeah, I mean, the hatchery is going to go down. And the Zerg player, man, he has just lost the game right here. And it is all down to these force fields because he needed to get the reinforcements and he might have had them. But half of his army got trapped behind that force field. And really, really just absolutely awesome play from StarDust there. Getting those force fields down and getting the upgrades really, really early. Those early upgrades did a massive, massive job. I mean, the Zealots and the Immortals weren't perfectly suited to deal with Ling Hydra. I mean, is the Zealots? Yeah, of course they just ripped the Lings apart. But the Hydras, man, I mean, they went in there and they were doing a lot of damage to the Zealots. Immortals don't do that much to them, but yeah, I mean, without the Roach Ball in front of the Hydras, yeah, they kept getting killed by the Zealots. The Immortals doing all sorts of damage. Of course, the Immortals would have wiped out the Roaches as well, but yeah, just didn't quite get the numbers up that he needed. I mean, StarDust really, really got a massive army. He got the third base so quickly. He got his economy up so quickly. The Zerg was up quickly, but you expect the Zerg to be up quickly. But the Protoss matched him, and that's not something you see every day. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, he just got an awesome army out. He just did the pressure. He did some extremely good splits with the bloody force fields, and yeah, really, really just chopped this Zerg army apart really, really quickly. Still had most of his Zealots left over. Reinforced it really, really nicely, and the Zerg just didn't have enough to throw at him after this point. He might have got bit back in here, but these force fields on this ramp just completely stopped that at all. So there we go. This is game 1 of this quarterfinals, and StarDust going for a very, very emphatic win in the first game. It was a little bit close, but I'm going to say that StarDust was very confident there. He showed a very, very strong playstyle, very, very strong win, and yeah, Hyun is going to have his work cut out for him in game number 2 to see if he can get back into this. So let's go move on. Game number 2 of this fourth quarterfinal of the DreamHack Open Summer, and I'll catch you guys then.